Man, it feels like every video I'm in a new location of my apartment because I can't make up my mind on where to film. But that's because I'm in the process of setting up an actual, recording area and getting a bunch of new equipment, so that's on the way. Until then, new comic books, right? So let's talk about some of them. I guess we'll start off with X-Men number 3, the new series by Jonathan Hickman. I haven't been a huge fan of what's been going on in this book lately. The first two issues I think are very different in contrast. I like the first issue the most out of any of these books. The second issue was very interesting. The Summers family coming together, islands, kind of touching. Very weird book. This issue is good. It focuses a lot on the Emma Frost and Jean Grey relationship, which is one I'm very interested in. It's very weird. Like, I don't understand if they're friends or enemies or if they're even hooking up themselves, because there's some weird shit in there involving these people. As always, Cyclops is the main focus, and we see this new kind of villain that might be in later issues of this group of old women who are botanists, who kind of say they have a calling to bring the planet Earth back to its natural state involving plants. Very interesting thing to do in an X-Men comic. It makes a lot of sense for these characters because Krakoa could pose a threat, so they were taking samples, beating the shit out of Cyclops, and Sebastian Shaw. This has been a big Sebastian Shaw week. I'm very surprised by how much he got in this issue and in another issue I'm going to talk about. And yeah, he just kind of gets beaten up a lot, so it's a solid issue. If you like what Hickman's doing with this, it's definitely gonna intrigue you. Emma Frost is a very interesting character in these kind of stories now. I'm very interested to see what happens with her. As always, Scott Summers is just himself. If you like that, you like that. If you don't, you don't. I'm a fan of Scott, so I like seeing him in this kind of stuff. And it worked. For the most part, it worked, and I was actually pretty interested in his storyline in this issue, but it just felt kind of flat. It's not the X-Men I'm used to, and you gotta get used to that. I haven't read, it's not Dawn, House of X and Powers of X. I haven't read any of that. So I didn't know what the High Count or the Silent Council or whatever it was called, and you see all those guys there. That was interesting to me. The timeline, it's not complicated, but I read them out of order, so I just felt kind of like, wait, what? Who's here? What's happening? It's a solid book. The art is incredible. The story is decent. It's definitely setting up something bigger, which is what I feel is happening a lot with the Hickman side of these books. Is it's all setting up something else that's going to happen later, but we're not actually getting the story now, and that kind of sucks. But it could, something good could happen. You never know. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. X-Men number 3 is a solid book. If you like it, if you like what Hickman's done, it's going to be okay for you. If you're still on the fence, this might be the point to turn off the book. I'm personally going to give it a couple more issues just because it's on my pull list and I want it to succeed, and it's probably got good sales numbers, so what do I know, right? It's going to succeed either way. But this one, I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I like the relationship between Emma and Jean, and I'd like to see that explored more, which we are getting in Giant X-Men, I think, next year. So that is going to be fun, so I can't wait to check that out. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video, and let me know what you guys think.